all-out noob here, and I am here with my latest and greatest settlement, which is part of the Vault 201 Skeleton Crew mod. This is built in Sector 1, Section C, and it is my Enclave Squad Sigma mini vault. Now, in order to use this, well, obviously you have to have Vault 201 Skeleton Crew installed in order to make anything here. And you have to have a bunch of other mods, and it is basically done. Here to do the tour. A couple of words of warning. First of all, this settlement is pushing my PC to the limit. You could even see right now there's some visual artifacts back there. I don't know why, but something about this build is really stressing my PC, and it's an above average one. So if you do decide to download these blueprints, A, make sure you have a really good PC, or B, drop the settings off of Ultra. Don't use Ultra settings, and even then you still might have problems. Do make a nice new save before importing this, and hopefully it'll work for you. Okay, note number 2, it is not a very good settlement because unfortunately NPC AI is crashing like crazy here. The settlers are just broken. They can't leave their rooms, they don't do their jobs, they won't go to bed. Pretty sure, I'm pretty sure I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the Skeleton Crew mod, I don't know if it's just vault problems. I have a lot of the mods that fix these things built in, and it's just not working. These poor settlers just don't know what to do with themselves. So pretty much this is a better player home than anything else. Anyway, without any further ado, let's do a quick little walkabout. Alright, so like I said, we'll start with the outside first because, well, I'm outside. Okay. This here is the firing range. And there's kind of no frills. And I will be honest, some of these things I really could not make very... The stuff I added towards the end I really couldn't make very intricate because, like I said, this is pushing the limit of my PC, and I didn't want to crash the whole thing. So a few of these things are kind of undecorated in some aspects. So anyway, I've got my 6-station training range, and all the way down there are my targets. Each lane has its own separate target. 6 lanes, there's some junk back there to represent repairing the targets and whatnot. Anyway, just some stuff here for the tables for the people to put their weapons and ammo on. A few things were left out. Over here is a radio that they could listen to while they're shooting. Okay, and that is the firing range. Now I shall come all the way around and I'll show you the other side. Now this goes on the premises that the Enclave, after their complete and utter defeat in the capital wasteland, kind of fled up here to the Commonwealth. A few survivors managed to get up here, including an archivist who had heard something about the Vault 201 thing from the records of Vault-Tec, and anyway, they found this place and they decided to set up a new Enclave kind of headquarters here. The survivors of the military decided to try to recreate Squad Sigma as a de facto special operations unit. And before they actually really managed to get the place up and running, disaster befell them. Most of them were killed off by the Commonwealth. One survivor did manage to make it to Far Harbor, and he's still there today. So that kind of gives me justification for saying that the Enclave did manage to get to the Commonwealth. So anyway, this is their Squad Sigma Special Operations Vault, and they have been collecting certain armaments and vehicles trying to refurbish them. They managed to get a couple of tanks and APCs and even a vehicle, a picker-up truck to work with. And they were diligently trying to refurbish these things in their ad hoc garage here. And unfortunately, well, like I said, disaster befell them before they managed to get anywhere. But they left behind their little vault, and they did kit out a few things. They got their American flag, they got their Enclave flag. That iBot over there is actually Enclave radio. He's supposed to be sandboxing, but it doesn't work very well. But he does play the Enclave radio, and that's a mod, and it's a really cool one. Lots and lots of audio that was recorded in there. Alright, so anyway, that's the outside. Let us go on inside the first level here. And actually, okay, well, let's go inside. Hello, machine. Open the door. Thank you. You can see my frame rate is tanking. And like I said, visual artifacts, all kinds of horrible stuff. This is really stressing my thing. I come over here to this outbuilding first and get this out of the way. This is like built out of an atrium piece, and it's kind of like their gymnasium. This is where the guys do their workouts. Got some, got a fighting ring over there. They scavenged a whole bunch of weights to play with. You know, their cycles, horses, stuff to play with. I'd originally envisioned these two balconies as indoor shooting ranges, but that really wasn't going to work out because, like I said, the budgets were getting kind of horrible there towards the end. Over here is a mini locker room, and those I think those are institute showers, but they were kind of like the nicest and most modern looking things I could find. They're from a mod called CWSS Redux, which adds showers and sinks and toilets and all that kind of good working stuff. I use it a lot. Like I said, you could drink out of these, and they have their own animations. Yeah, yeah. Now, if I really wanted to, I could have my dude take a shower or come over here and use the toilet. But since I use body replacers, that means you'll have naked tunes, and YouTube will probably be unhappy. But all of these toilets do work, and all of the sinks and all of the showers in this whole place, they all work. Settlers, well, if you didn't have broken settlers, they would actually come in and use them and do cool things. Do a little bit of decorating, do some jump down to make it kind of look a little less sterile. I am not the greatest in the world at decorating, I will really admit. So we'll see stuff scattered around in what I hope looks decent, but like I said, I'm not very aesthetically good. So anyway, we'll come back here to the main building. This is 4 stories tall. I'm going to start down here on level 1, and this room here, this is the we come around this side because I do have a few little signage here. This is where patrols would return, and essentially like an unrobing room, so to speak. Yeah. Yo, open the door. Thank you. This is where they would come in and they'd store their stuff and put their guns down, put their power armors into these racks. Basically, everybody would, store their gear and all that. And in that room over there, I'll get there in a minute, is where the armory is, and the armorers would come and take it all away and bring it back and repair stuff and reload stuff, put the ammo away, etc., so on and so forth. In here is the debriefing room, And this is where the guys would come and kind of just chill to get debriefed by the intelligence officer, who would be sitting there with the secretary to just kind of take notes. And one at a time they would get debriefed. They would nice comfy places to hang out. Little mini medical bay down here where some of them could get their wounds treated. Things like that. That there is a salvage beacon station. Don't think I have anybody assigned to it, but it is there. Anyway, some snacks and stuff so they could just relax while they're waiting to get debriefed. There's also another little locker room where they could clean up and chill out again, working stuff. And this is the Sigma Squad's unrobing room. This is not where they get ready to go out. This is where they come back from. Okay, let's come into the armory. This is probably most of the cause of all my headaches with this settlement being overloading my machine, because I have put a lot in here. As you can see, we have lots of stuff. Okay, there's some my armor workbenches, weapons workbenches. I got technical manuals on the shelves. We got repair stations everywhere. Shelves and shelves full of ammunitions. You name it, it is here. I'm using a lot of armor smith workbenches. Most of them are just there for decorations. Over here is like the weapons maintenance area. Over here they do some work on armor. And like I said, shelves upon shelves of ammunitions. Okay, and over here is just basically the vault's kind of storage area, like a supply room. This is where they have all their dry goods and parts storage, I should say. And boxes upon boxes, crates upon crates, munitions, bunch of barrels tossed over there in the corner that were damaged, waiting to be cut apart or recycled or repaired or whatever. Okay, and this is this. There's one of my settlers who is stuck forever in place because he can't leave. He is on one of these stations here. Which one is it? This thing right here is actually a reskinned salvage station. You know, the ones in the workshop where the guys go out and collect some extra junk and they come in and they start welding on it. Well, anyway, that's his station. It's actually was reskinned. The guy who did it down in Magical Housekeeping. You created all kinds of new animations and a whole bunch of new things. It's really cool. It gives a little variety to the salvage stations. So I used them a lot. Okay, and we'll move down here. This is like the vaults. This is the way out into that garage I showed you earlier. Down here is the support personnel's area. This is where they live. We have a women's dormitory here. And down here we have a communal bathroom area. And this was not built with two sexes in mind, so they have to share. And well, kind of sucks to be them. Women and the men, well, I'm sure they worked it out somehow. This is the men's dormitory. Not a lot of settlers here yet, so there's not a lot of decorations. That guy likes his Garden Gnome Connect collection. Over here is kind of like the cafeteria and recreation area all rolled up into one. Okay, and oh, how about that? This over here is from the I think it's Better Vendors mod. It is a level 3 restaurant. There's usually a woman who hangs out in here and stands behind the counter, and she's a food vendor. Okay, I have a bunch of stuff here from the do-it-yourself mod, and these are all from I think it's called filled diner counters. These are over here are some more of those home housekeeping stations. So a lot of these, sometimes you'll see when people are assigned to them, they'll come in and wash dishes and do cooking and things like that. This rack of donuts is from the coffee shop from the Creation Club. It's one of the few Creation Club things I actually paid money for, and I actually like it because it's kind of cool. It's Slocum Joe's Donuts. I have a donut rack over here so people can come in and have donuts. Because who doesn't like donuts? Anyway, we got some music over here, slot machines to play with. Places for people to relax, the peons, I should say, the support guys, the armorers and housekeepers to come out here and do their stuff. This is the Sigma Squad's personal lounge, and it is their little place, and it is decorated. Obviously, you can see a little bit more nicely than everything else. They got all their trophies on the walls, the stuff that they hunted down before getting hunted down themselves. Because the Commonwealth took revenge. They had their own cigars and smokes and all kinds of whiskey. At a little bar over there. They had themselves a grand old time. But hey, they are the squad. So we are done with the first floor. Let's go upstairs to the second floor, and I'm going to take a shortcut here. No. I'm going to come up this ramp, which I kind of... It's actually a vault support, which I repurposed. This up here is the ready room. This is where the squad would get their stuff together. Okay, as you can see there, the squad is the weapons are all being placed up here. The suits of armor are up here being put into their racks for their next patrol. Okay, we got a little briefing table over here so their commander could go over their objectives, things like that. All their weapons being laid out, their munitions being laid out. They each got their own personal lockers, their personal power armors, all ready to go. And they're all being, don't know what else to say, they're all being set up. They're getting ready to go. The lights are all red here to kind of help them transition into night vision mode. A flag to remind them. When they're all set, they just wander out here, come out through this door, and they would pick up their vehicle and exit the facility. And for the second floor, that's, I think, pretty much everything here. Nothing else down here except the balcony into the armory. Yep, and that is that. So let's go upstairs to the third floor. Now the third floor is where the food hydroponics area is. The clinic, no, hydroponics in the clinic. That's all that's really up here. Let's come take a look at the clinic first. And here's their main medical facility, surgical area, bunch of stuff. And over here is another one of those. Actually, I lied. This is from the Homemaker mod. This is one of the vendor mats. It's a level 3 clinic, and it does the function of a vendor. So what I was able to do is just throw a counter here and put that mat there, and now I have a working doctor without using any of the vendor stalls that really look ugly. And I scattered some junk around. Nice chair. There's the photoropter and the surgery and the facial center, reconstructive surgery for change your face, things like that. Little waiting area. Nothing really out here except just another entrance to this corridor. Over here is the hydroponics. Here we are. And here's a bunch more settlers who can never ever leave. They're kind of like stuck in their own garden hell. This is where all the food is grown. And they have room for more. Over there is a little bathroom and some fertilizer, tools storage. And I scattered a few implements around, garden hoses, carts to push their tools around in, things like that. Over here is a vault elevator that actually works. This is from one of the vault elevator mod that I'll put in the description. I forget its actual name, but it does work. Now I'm told this is better to use in third-person mode. I don't know if I'm in third-person mode or not. Yep, there I am. Mod author said it's better to use in third person for some reason. Hello. Okay, yeah, you see that when I went down, that jerkiness, it was jumping up and down. I guess doing it in third person kind of bypasses that. But that is the third floor. Not much up here. Like I said, this isn't a tremendously large vault, yet it really messes with, it's really stressing my frame. I think it's a lot of the decorations are really doing it. I had to increase the build budget 3 times, and like I said, I pushed it all the way as far as I dared. Up here is the Squad Sigma's personal quarters. These 2 doors on either side, on the right and left, are essentially the privates or the low-ranking dudes' quarters. They each have their own. Quarters. They get a generic bed, some furniture, nice chair to hang out in, and usually, they got their built-in bathroom, and they have their own foibles and decorations they put in themselves. Like this guy is a gun collector, so he has his own favorite weapons on display. His favorite 2 sniper rifles and a really cool pistol he picked up somewhere. I'm not going to go into many of these rooms since they're mostly carbon copies with just a few little, like that guy has his own bookshelf he likes to read. This one I don't even think I gave him anything special. He just didn't like going out. There's 2 of them that really didn't. Either that or I just couldn't be bothered. Okay, down here are the NCOIC quarters and the commanding officer's quarters. That sign up there turned out really horrible. One of these days I'll fix it if I remember to. Anyway, let's come check out the NCOIC's quarters first. And this is kind of like his common area. This is his desk where he does his thing. For the dudes who act as clerks have their own desks over here. Filing cabinets, places to keep track of. Got a little entertainment section over here for like off-duty hours. Wants to talk to people, to kind of Okay, it's the creepy priest dude hanging out in the bathroom. Right, whatever. Anyway, this is the NCOIC's personal latrine. And over here is her personal bedroom. And she's got a little puppy dog poster. And she and the boss got some windows and they could look out on their, well, nothing, but I guess it's better than just living in guess this is the quartermaster, the finance dude. Got all his money in safes and things like that. Okay, and the commanding officer, of course, got his nice big desk. Place over here to, sit around, brief people. Another kind of briefing table here. Their tactical objectives. Nice little reading nook. And his personal bedroom. Didn't really do too much decorating in this place, along with a personal bath. This dude's kind of like a career soldier, austere. Doesn't believe much. But again, you could look out on his nothingness and his own private Deathclaw hand trophy. And that is that, I believe. Did I forget anything? Let's see, show to the outside. Yep, that is that. Like I said, not a giant settlement, but a pretty busy one. I guess I should show you the. This is just another door into the ready room. I guess I should go downstairs and show you where the workshop is. And all of these cells are the same setup, so it's all pretty common. And this right out there is the workbench. And it has its own section. These have interconnections here between the vaults, like this one goes to Sector D. Over here is, well, that one just goes into my vault, but here's an elevator that goes to the next level, Vault 2 Sector C. If you recall, when we were outside, there were some doors off in the far corner that go to other vaults as well. And over here is I put in this recruitment beacon, even though it's supposed to have its own recruitment beacon. I just never saw settlers coming. And here's the main power water kind of thing. And finally, this is the vault lights, where you can shut off the lights in the entire vault. And that, my friends, is that. This is Vault 201, Level 1, Sector Charlie. This is my Squad Sigma Vault. Turn off my lights so you can see it at night. Pretty and lit up. And that is that. Thanks for bearing with me. If you like it and you think you got a machine that could run it, feel free. I'll have it up on the Nexus soon. You could download the blueprint and import it into your own game if you have Vault 201. And until then, you all have yourselves a great time and happy fallouting. Ciao.